You know, when you think about ancient Egypt, what pops into your head? Pyramids, right? Pharaohs, golden masks, all that amazing stuff. But today, we're going to go beyond the tombs and look at something way more personal, something that really connects us to them. A 3,500-year-old document that shows us how they dealt with the one thing we all face, the need to heal.
Okay, let me ask you something. You've got a headache, right? Or maybe a stomach ache. What's your go-to? You probably reach for a pill, or maybe make a cup of tea, or have some special comfort food. We all have our little rituals for feeling better. But what would you do if you were living thousands of years ago?
Yeah, you heard that right. Over 700 options. We're not talking about a couple of folk remedies passed down through stories. This was a vast, incredibly complex system of medicine, with a documented fix for pretty much anything you can imagine, and it's all laid out in one incredible document.
All right, so what is this thing? This ancient prescription pad? Well, it's called the Ebers Papyrus. And to really get what's inside, we've got to understand the document itself first.
So this is the Ebers Papyrus, and it's not some royal decree or a story about the gods. Nope, it's this long scroll written in a kind of ancient cursive. And honestly, it's one of our most important windows into the day-to-day lives of ancient Egyptians. It shows us how they tried to fix things, soothe pain, and just take care of each other.
Okay, a little bit of history here, just so we're all on the same page. The text itself is from around 1550 BC, but the knowledge in it is probably much, much older. It gets its modern name from a German scholar, Georg Ebers, who got his hands on it back in the 1870s. So just to be clear, he didn't write it, but his name is stuck to it now. Now, to really get why the Ebers Papyrus is such a big deal, it helps to put it side by side with another famous medical text, the Edwin Smith Papyrus. The Edwin Smith is super clinical, almost like a modern textbook. It's all about broken bones, wounds, very observational. The Ebers Papyrus? Oh, it's a whole different beast. It's way broader, covering all sorts of internal sicknesses, and it has this amazing style that just freely mixes practical, hands-on remedies with spells and magic. All right, you ready? Let's crack open this ancient pharmacy and take a look at what was on the shelves.
I'm going to say that number again, just so it really sinks in. Over 700 medications. That alone tells you that Egyptian medicine was not simple stuff. This was a massive, organized library of medical knowledge, with treatments for all kinds of problems.
And look at the sheer range of things they were treating. We're talking stomach problems and parasites, and you can bet those were huge issues back then, but also skin diseases, eye infections, breathing problems. This wasn't just for life or death situations. It was a complete guide for all the everyday aches and pains of being human.
Okay, so here's where it gets really fun. The ingredients they used, well, it's this wild mix of stuff that makes total sense to us today and stuff that's just plain bizarre. Let's start with the practical things first.
So for instance, they used honey all the time. And that's brilliant, right? We now know it's a natural antibacterial, perfect for wounds. They might not have known the exact science, but they knew it worked. And you see stuff like milk, all kinds of herbs and seeds, and even beer and wine, probably to help mix everything together.
But then, you wander down a different aisle in this ancient pharmacy. And this is where things get a little weird, where ingredients seem to be chosen for symbolic reasons, or maybe just because they were willing to try anything and everything to find a cure.
Here's where you find recipes calling for different animal fats, or ground-up minerals, or even very specific parts from certain animals. And yeah, it sounds totally bizarre to us, but think about what it shows. A culture that was constantly experimenting, looking for relief literally anywhere they could find it.
And this is so important. It wasn't just what they used, it was how they prepared it. Being a healer was a real skill. You had to grind things just right, mix them in the right amounts, boil or soak them, then shape them into pills or pastes. The final remedy could be swallowed, rubbed on the skin, or even inhaled. This was craftsmanship.
But here's the thing. Their approach went so much deeper than just pills and potions. The Ebers Papyrus shows us they were treating the whole person, not just the symptom.
And this chart just lays it out so clearly. See that? Drugs and remedies, that's a big chunk, sure, about 40%, but look at the rest. Diet and fasting, spells and rituals, even massage and touch, they were all part of the treatment plan. It was a truly holistic system.
I mean, talk about being ahead of the curve. They totally understood the link between what you eat and how you feel. The papyrus has these recommendations for special diets, or even fasting for certain illnesses. That's a conversation we're still having today.
And get this, treatment was physical. It was hands-on. The fact that massage is in there tells you that healing was a personal connection.
It adds this really compassionate, human element to it all, right? A healer actually using touch to bring comfort and relieve pain.
Okay, this part is just wild. The text hints that healers used more than just physical stuff. They used calming words, incantations, rituals. Some experts even think it might have been an early form of hypnosis. They were trying to treat the mind to help heal the body.
So, when you step back and look at all of this together, what you really see is the human side of history.
There's this quote that it hits the nail on the head. Behind all the ancient writing and weird ingredients were real people dealing with headaches, stomach aches, infections, pain. They wanted relief just as we do. So in the end, what the Ebers Papyrus really shows us is that ancient Egyptian medicine was anything but primitive. It was huge, it was experimental, and it was incredibly holistic. They cared about the body and the mind, mixing the practical with the magical. And more than anything, it's a powerful reminder that the drive to heal one another is one of the most basic things about being human.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. If one of those ancient healers could somehow walk into a pharmacy today, what do you think would blow their mind the most? The sterile packaging, the chemical names? But then, what might feel familiar? Maybe they'd see the rows of herbal remedies, the balms to soothe skin, and above all, the simple fact that we're still just trying to do the exact same thing they were, making life a little less painful.